Hello, everybody. This is Coach Van in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It is July 24th, 11 o'clock Eastern, and this is the 20now.com members only webinar, which is being recorded and will be posted on our team update site of ToolsTeam.net. I want to let everybody know, if you didn't already, that this is not a company webinar. This is a team webinar where everybody in the company is welcome to use it. We are the fastest growing team in the entire company by far, but we let everybody use our tools. Now, we just announced the name of the company here yesterday. Again, it's 20now.com. Your pre-enrollment pages are still going to be on the ToolsTeam.com domain. Again, that is the company's domain that they're using for pre-enrollment. ToolsTeam.net is my domain that I'm using to keep people up to date and trained and incentives and things of that nature. Speaking of which, let's give away a cruise right off the bat before we get going here. All right, what I'm going to do is ask Cameron if you'll give me a number between 1 and 10. Susie, if you can give me a vowel, please. And Kevin, tell me up or down. And we're going to pick somebody to win a cruise. And you'll have a choice between a 3-day cruise and an 8-day cruise. Some people don't like the longer cruises, so we're going to give them a choice here tonight. Okay. All right. Tammy Thompson, you are the winner of a cruise, so you shoot me an email and let me know if you'd rather have a 3-day cruise or an 8-day cruise, and we'll get that certificate sent off to you. And I'll go ahead and answer a couple of questions, then we're going to hit the highlights. And just lost my questions here. Hold on a second. Where'd they go? Okay. Ah, there it is. All right. When our things max out, all these little things pop up to let me know that people can't get onto the webinar. Okay. Dallas, who's actually in Texas, says, when is the first and second payment due? He prepaid for the first. Once everything goes live, if people are paying monthly, it'll be on the anniversary of whenever the grace period is over. So I'm gonna, and I posted this on the Facebook, the 20Now Facebook group. But just so you know, this is just an example. When Jarhead said, hey, the site is gonna go live, when he did the first webinar with us back on the 2nd or 3rd of July, and people ask the question every time, when are we starting, when are we starting? And he didn't give a date. He still hasn't. He said, you know, this month. He did not say that they were launching this month. It's that the site would be able to be turned on and start accepting credit and debit card payments, and maybe have the initial phases of the different tools being on there. So when you see some of you saw the Pay Now page and made mention to the pre-launch and the site going live, and this was also on the webinar last night, is the site has actually been live for a number of months. I've known about the name of the company for a while now, but Jarhead asked me not to say anything because he didn't want everybody flooding the pages until they were ready to be flooded. Because if you check on the Alexa rating right now, there's not even any data on 20now.com yet, even though it's been there for a couple of months. So the site is live, but his version of saying when the site's live is when people could actually go to 20now.com and make a purchase and start purchasing their tools for every month. Now, in this example, today is the 24th, and I'm just using this as an example. Say the 28th, the site goes live, and they start taking credit card payments. We're going to talk about how you can pay right now also. And the site starts taking credit card payments and debit card payments, but there's going to be a grace period for everybody who's been pre-enrolling, so that, hey, if they go live, they're like on vacation, or people have been trying to pay for a while now, and so there'll be, like, say, a grace period. Say an example, if it goes live on the 28th, maybe he goes till August 2nd. So then everybody who pays from the 28th of July to August 2nd, when he says, okay, the grace period is over, everybody who pre-enrolled, they had their chance to get their 20 bucks in, and if they didn't get their 20 bucks in this example, then on 2 August, then the matrix is going to be loaded with people who paid. Not in the order they paid, but in the order that they pre-enrolled with that date and timestamp. So if somebody pre-enrolled and they're the very first one to pre-enroll on July 2nd, but the very last person to pay on August 2nd in this example, they're still going to go into the matrix first. And the flip side of that is, if they were the very last person to pre-enroll on the 28th of July in this example, but the very first person to pay when the site went live, they don't jump ahead of all the people who pre-enrolled before them. Everybody who pre-enrolled before them, as long as they pay before the 2nd of August, they're going to go into the matrix ahead of that person. So it's not whoever pays first. It's whoever pays who was pre-enrolled first, as far as the entry goes. And so in this example, I know I'm giving you a really long answer to a short question. So in this example, everybody who paid in that 4 or 5 day period during the grace period, their renewal will be to September the following month. Okay, and the other thing is, I've had people say, well, why should I pay now? I want to use my commissions to pay. Well, you can use commissions to pay your monthly, but you have to have some commissions first. So nobody has any commissions until they, get into the matrix and they start referring other people. Just because you've referred, technically nobody's made any money yet, referring all these other people, except for the ones who won some free first month entries like we do on some of these webinars here. Okay, let's see. Gwen saying, explain the advantages, paid the year early option we all get access to. I'll cover that when we go to the other page there, but the real obvious answer is that you save 40 bucks. Okay. Diane, you mentioned last night we would be using GPG to pay. Are we supposed to create an account with GPG yet? Good question, Diane. No, you're not going to create that until we have things set up. Now, GPG is the whole processing system. You're not actually paying GPG, but we're taking the credit cards through them. We're paying them. It's an entire, within their name itself, it's a gateway. They're a gateway to send money, receive money, and take a lot of the headaches away from the companies. And they actually, partner with the company in a sense. And then we'll have different benefits because they deal with so many people, so many MLMs. I mean, like I said, they handle billions of dollars. And so some of the things that we'll be able to do by using us to bring money to them, and then us using them to bring their talents and their benefits to our membership, we'll be able to help people, especially those in countries where credit cards and debit cards aren't the easiest thing to come by, and we'll be able to help them with some different banks, and especially we had a big talk today about some of the situations in China, and with these people, not a problem, no big deal at all, because we're dealing with the big boys. We might be a $20 deal, but we're getting 6- and 7-figure attention. Okay. Anne-Marie, how do we pay it forward for more than one person? Okay, we'll cover that when we get to the Pay Now page. Okay, I'm gonna hit a couple of highlights here, and then we'll go to the pay now thing that we talked about. Okay, if you look on your page here, let me get my okay, get my little magic pen going here. All right, again, emphasizing ToolsTeam.net. Let me make sure. Okay, .net is the team site. .com is your pre-enrollment page. You see I've changed everything from ToolsTeam 2.0 to 20now.com. Keep in mind also, your pre-enrollment pages still say ToolsTeam 2.0, and they're probably going to stay that way. Jarhead, he likes to call it, he's in the code cave, and he's coding and doing all these things to get everything ready. I keep telling them to quit putting time in the Facebook rooms, the different rooms, and sending emails and okay, I guess people are telling me I've made some misspellings here, but I'll catch it when I read through it. But I'm saying, hey, people appreciate them. I said, hey, they'll appreciate you a lot more if you go ahead and get this system going here. So anyway, this 20 now, we do have tools that nobody else has. There's a lot of tools programs out there, and it's not a slam on those other programs. And we knew when we started this that by being the lowest cost program out there, that some people would view that as we must not be any good because we are the least expensive. I almost said cheap, but you could say it's cheap in cost, but we definitely don't have cheap tools. We have very high quality tools with a ridiculously and almost unbelievably low price. And there's a lot of companies out there promoting 100% payout. They have admin fee for this and a fee for that and a fee for this, and there's no additional fees here. You pay 20 bucks and 20 bucks is paid back out. And the company makes its money because they have the top spot in the matrix. Now we have 100% monthly matrix match on all personal referrals. That's where we're saying there's no income limit. All right, you can have all the monthly matches you can get, all the $5 bonuses you can get. There is no limit. Now, there is a limit on the matrix. Oh, there it is. I just saw my typo there. Okay. There is a match on the matrix. If you're stuck at saying I can only make $978,670 a month, if that's not enough for you, bummer. But keep in mind there is no limit on the monthly the $5 bonuses or the 100% matches. And there is no sponsoring required with 20 now, but your income is capped if you're not sponsoring anybody at $238. Now, we've had over 23,000 people pre-enroll on our team all over the world, and one of the things I'm very excited about is, all the industry says that, hey, the average person can only get 2.2 or 2.3 or the 2 to 3 referrals in a lifetime. We've already got 600 people who've more than doubled the industry average that they say happens in a lifetime, and they've done it in 3 weeks, and we're still going. Okay, I forgot to turn off these little notices here. We're maxed out again every time. It's a good feeling, but just to let you know, if you didn't already, is our webcasting system that we'll be using within 20now.com, that you're all going to be able to do the same thing, does not have any limits like we're having here tonight. Okay, this company is owned. It's not owned by me. I know I'm the big blabbermouth on the webinars and doing all these goofy tools and stuff, but it is owned by Richard Pickett. I've been calling him Jarhead since I first met him a number of years ago in person in Tennessee, and so his email is right there, jarhead@toolsteam.com. Now continue to whitelist or include that email address in your address book, But as the transition goes through, you'll start to see in some of the emails you get from Jarhead at ToolsTeam.com, that'll start to be transitioning to probably Jarhead at 20now.com, or owner or president or something like that. He'll probably keep it at Jarhead. I didn't ask him that. And the page you can snoop around a little bit right now is 20now.com. And we'll cover some of the homework that I put out last night, and we'll look at that page here. But I want to go ahead now and go over to the payment page. And this is just an option, okay? Some people misunderstood the intent here. Is I've been telling people since the very beginning that we are going to take credit cards and debit cards for people to start this program, and we'll pay commissions to credit cards and debit cards and bank accounts. And that includes, temporary cards you can get, or loadable cards, like Walmart or Green Dot or anything that has Visa, MasterCard logo. These six, basically a 16-digit card. Whether your name's on it or not, we can collect from it and we can pay to it. So, but we still had people that said, well, hey, I want to pay for some other people, or I knew this was going to be big, so I started doing meetings. We've had people where they've been talking about the tools. They don't have any tools to show them. They just say, hey, there's this tool thing, and there's this Jarhead person, and some loudmouth guy named Coach Van, and this program's only $20, and they were collecting $20 bills from people and getting their information and signing them up at people's little miniature house parties and such. And this is all fine, but they want to know how can they get this money in and get things going. So I talked with Jarhead, and for the first year option, at first I had it on here as an annual, and it's not going to be an annual thing because it's just for the first year, to where, yeah, if you look at a $20 a month for a year, it's $240. But you can get the whole year taken care of. Your first year for $200, you'll save $40, but the commissions aren't going to be spread out over 10 months. They are going to be paid next month, okay, or which is, just a week away. So instead of 70 cents going up through 10 levels, it's $7. All right, instead of a $5 bonus paid monthly for 10 months, you're going to get $50 for anybody that you referred who, purchases a first year option, and that's going to be paid to you, again next month. And instead of $1 going into the bonus pool, it's 10 times as much, so it's $10 going into the bonus pool. So in this instance, it's $200 in, $200 back out, and that's going to be for 200 people. Now, there are some groups that have been looking at this. I'm not talking about the little home meetings. There's some pockets of people in China who don't have credit and debit cards right now, and we'll be able to take care of them as far as how to pay them down the road. But this is something that will help them get started, because we can't help them until we have them in the system, as far as getting them a bank that works really well in their country, and it has been with other companies. But we'll be able to use this as a way to get started. So for some people, it's not about the savings, it's about just wanting to get started. And then there's a group, I believe, in Kenya, and another one in Florida. And wherever the groups are coming from, it does not matter. We are 100% worldwide. And the other thing is, even if it's not paying it forward, you just collected money for other people. It might look like that because you're sending in, X amount of dollars. Maybe you've got $2,000, and you're not paying it forward to a whole bunch of people. But to the system, it'll look like that because you sent in $1,000, and we go and say, okay, pay for this username, this username, this username, until the $1,000 is gone. Now, the money that you send in, and again, if you're using this as an option, this is an all sales are final. It is a sale. You're not making an investment. You're not investing in 20now.com. Even if you're sending in $10,000, you're not investing. You're making a purchase for yourself and others, whether that's, paying it forward for the first month or the first year, or people have given you money, whatever the case is, it is not any kind of investment, equity. There's no returns. There's no income claims. There is nothing. And everything is used for 20 Now products. You can't send it in and then say, well, hey, I've changed my mind and I want my money back, or I changed my mind and I'm going to go do XYZ program. Once the money's submitted with those usernames, it's going to be used to activate however many people's first month or first year option it is. And the $200 minimum isn't to discourage anybody. That's just because if you're just wanting to pay 1 or 2 months, then just wait for the system to come online and pay with your credit card and debit card. And again, I'm not the company, and I'm not making any kind of guarantees, but I feel very strongly anybody who's in and paid now, especially if you're referring some other people, then it's real obvious. But a lot of you who pay your first 20 bucks will never have to pay again. So, and again, those first years are for the first 200 people. All right. So if you're going down on this screen here, some of you have printed the whole screen, and that's fine. But this is the main section right here. This is the only thing I actually need. And you can, put in your name. You'll be Joe Blow. And, your phone number. And if it's international, include whatever it is that in case I need to get you. I probably won't be calling you unless there's some problems. And your username. If you're sending in money for 50 people, that's fine, but only send me, your username. So Joe Blow's username his username is also Joe Blow, and his email is joeblow@aol.com because he doesn't listen. He doesn't have his own Gmail account, and this would be a wrong thing to do if he puts in $216. Okay. The reason I'm saying that's wrong is because, okay, I understand what 200 bucks is, but what am I going to do with 16 bucks? Okay, so 200 is the minimum, but then everything after that increments of 20, 220, 240, 3,000, whatever that amount is. Then you also put that amount here. You're certifying that, and then you sign it, Joe Blow. You date it, 7/24, and that's. So I have a signature, I have your signature saying that you realize that your payment of, in this example, $200 that you're sending to Michael Van Leeuwen, aka Coach Van Me, is to be used to purchase 20now.com products for myself and or others. I further understand this is a sale and not an investment of any kind. I know there is no guarantee of any income. I also understand this purchase is final and there are no refunds. And then I'll collect all the money in one mass. I'm not the only one doing it. There's a couple of other people. And again, no personal checks. You can send me a cashier's check, money orders, and cash. Don't send me a bunch of 1s and 5s and 10s. Try to keep it the big bills there. And then the address is there, Coach Van, care of 20now.com, 439 Westwood, SC, number 227, Fayetteville, North Carolina, 28314. And if you are using, UPS, Airborne, FedEx, DHL, whatever, and they want a phone number on the sheet, then the phone number is there also to put on there. Let me get rid of my chicken scratch here real quick. Okay, I'll get to some of these questions here now. Dick is saying, can we use a bank check? Yeah, cashier's check and bank check, as far as I know, are pretty much the same thing. Okay. Right, Patrick, for those, all right, first off, I want to let everybody know some of the people, like Dallas already asked a question, and Patrick is also one of them. There was a test group of people where we actually had some people apply. This was last June. This is even before pre-enrollment, when most people didn't even have a clue what was going on. And you've seen some of the presentations where I talk about what we did for leaders. So we actually had people apply to, say, hey, I'm a leader, I want to be, close to the top, I can bring in a bunch of people. And as you've seen, some of them have. Some of them got their things in and have done nothing, and they're not at the top, or they're not going to be at the top. They just thought they could use their name to slip into the top positions. So yes, those people who paid last June, their first month hasn't started yet, just like nobody else's first month hasn't started yet. So again, in that example I gave earlier, where the grace period being over on 2 August, again, which is just an example, and if you paid in June, your second payment wouldn't be due again until, the 2nd of September, but again, you're probably never going to have to pay again, or at least come out of pocket. You'll be paying out of commissions every month after that. Okay, let's get back to the questions. Michael, if I got $200 by the beginning of my 3rd month anniversary, can I still make an annual payment, or actually 160? Probably not. And actually, if you think about it, Michael, it wouldn't make much sense then. Yeah, you could still say you could save the $40 by having that come out at that time. I'm not sitting here telling you that I know exactly what Jarhead's going to have in store by the 3rd month, whether that's still going to be an option or not at that time. But for you individually, it probably wouldn't be the best move for yourself, because again, if you're using commissions for that, heck, put some money in your pocket. Okay. Patrick, let's see, for those who have the first month paid and choose to pay a year, do we pay 180? We hadn't considered that, but I'll go ahead and make a decision there. Yeah, if you want to send in 180, Patrick, we'll add that with what you've already paid, and we'll get you hooked up for a year. And that goes for anybody. That's only goes for the people who knew it was going on in June and got their monies in June before pre-enrollment even started. Okay, James in Utah. If we already paid it, okay, all right. I think I might have answered this already. Is there something different that we would need to do? If you've already paid in June and you're not wanting to pay it forward or get a year like Patrick was talking about, then you've got nothing to do. Just keep on referring other people there, James, and get yourself up to, come catch me. All right, but if you have people who want to do it, you can let them know. Okay, Craig, to get paid a year in advance, do you have to have all 6 people under yourself pay the $200 also, or just yourself? Okay, that's a good question. Here's what's going on is, first off, again, you only go into the matrix if you pay. Nobody is in the matrix because they pre-enrolled. I know the website says you locked in your position, but again, you locked in your position in line to go into the matrix. Now, you might have a great position in line because you pre-enrolled, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and you got a whole bunch of people who pre-enrolled after you, but if you don't pay, you're never going to go into the matrix. So if you pay, you're in the matrix. And if you only paid, $20 because you're going to do it, month to month to month, and somebody below you, even if you didn't refer them, they spill below you or whatever, and they go and pay for a year, and you're above them, you're going to get a $7 commission on that person instead of 70 cents. If you sponsored that person and you still only paid 20 bucks, you've already got $57 coming to you, because you're going to get the $5 times 10 and the 70 cents times 10. There's 57 bucks. Now keep in mind that next month, if you have 10 people below you who are annuals, you're not going to see any money directly from those 10 people for another year. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to make money from the people that they refer in that year time period. So keep in mind, in this example that Craig come up with, if I refer Craig, and let's say I refer Craig and Frank and Diane, and that's all. I refer 3 people, all 3 of them pay for a year. I made, boom, 3 $50 bonuses, $5 times 10. I made 3 $7 commissions, so that's 70 cents times 10. That's $171. But next month, I'll have nothing coming unless myself, Frank, Diane, and Craig have referred other people, or we got spillover. Okay, make sure you understand that. It's $200. You're getting 10 months worth of commissions. The people are getting the value for the year. There's 2 months that you're not getting paid on, and then you're getting the 10 months worth of commissions now. Okay, hopefully that helps you. Okay, Frank says, you said the first 200, what are you referring to? That's only for people who are taking, or the option, again, it's not a requirement. It's if somebody, some people just want to get payment out of the way, or they got a vacation coming up and they're not sure, Jarhead hasn't put out a firm date, and they don't go, well, I'm going to be on vacation from the 25th of July to the 10th of August, and I don't know, I don't want to miss out on the grace period, so this is an option for them. Or there's some people that have credit cards and debit cards, they just refuse to use those on the internet. They, for whatever reasons they have. And so the 200 is the minimum for a yearly thing, and then if you're just paying for other people or paying it forward, I don't want to handle a bunch of $40, $60, $80 payments, because I'm thinking there's going to be quite a few. So after talking with Jarhead, was a minimum of 200. Hopefully that helped you out, Frank in Chicago. Okay, Diane says the people paying yearly will still go into the matrix according to their date and timestamp, correct? Absolutely, that's absolutely correct. Okay. People paying, let me make something clear here real quick, I hope. I'm going to move this back to the top of the screen. All right. Anybody using this option of the 20 that's on the paynow.toolsteam.net, if you're taking the first year option, your benefit is 40 bucks. If you're doing anything else on here, if it's to make sure you're in because you're going to be on vacation, or you don't like using credit cards or whatever, nobody's getting any kind of advantage by sending money to me. It's not like saying, well, hey, I'm going to send in my money to Van, and then I'm going to, pass up 23,000 people. You paying early or using any of these options here, again, they're options, nothing's a requirement, does not do anything for you going into the matrix ahead of anybody else. All it does is let you know you can save 40 bucks, you can pay it forward for a couple of people so they don't have to worry about it. Whatever your reasons are, this is something that Jarhead let a few people do for people just to help them feel a little bit more comfortable, or because they don't like using credit cards, basically. So that's your advantage. And if nobody sends me any money, that's fine too. I mean, I already know there's people who've sent money in, but If everybody wants to wait until the site goes live as far as paying with their credit cards, now that will not be an option to use for a credit card or debit card. When we're first getting started, they will not be able to take their credit card and say, okay, hey, I want to pay $200 for a year, or you can't pay $200 to pay for 10 people. If you're collecting money from, and you can have the best credit cards in the world, unlimited, funding or whatever, but the system's not going to allow you to go onto 20now.com and put hundreds of dollars on your credit card. Okay, because yes, we are a 6- and 7-figure business, but to the masses or the perception, we're still a $20 deal. Okay. Okay, Michelle, what is the best way to market the system locally? Well, I get that question, and I've been getting that type of question ever since I've been in any kind of MLM or network marketing, going all the way back to when I started doing this stuff in the Army. And the best way is hard to really describe, because when I used to be a recruiter in the military, there was things that I did that worked great for me up in Washington, but would have been terrible for some of the recruiters that were down in Louisiana, and vice versa. That used to drive me nuts. They'd say, hey, this guy in Louisiana is doing some crazy stuff here it's working great. But I'd have to explain to them, I go, that's Louisiana. I go, that kind of stuff doesn't work in Washington. And so I'm not trying to tap dance on your question here, Michelle, but what I do know is what the worst way is. And doing nothing is definitely the worst way. I truly believe that you cannot tell the right person the wrong thing, and it doesn't matter how many great things you tell the wrong person. All right? When you have something and somebody else sees it, especially when it's only $20, it's pretty hard to screw it up. So without knowing your background or what your local area is like, I would say talk to people. All right. If it's once we have the tools going, and people want to start doing little parties or whatever, or house things, and saying, hey, look, we're going to show how we can do things on Facebook. Because one of the things I'm doing in this new presentation, and kind of came on this by accident, is there's other tool programs out there. And I'm not denying that, and I'm not slamming any other company, and but they're having tools like they're trying to compete, saying, hey, we're trying to make our tool better than GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar or AnyMeeting or some of these different services. And yeah, we have our system. That we have a service to try to compete with that also. But at the same time, they're trying to make their own thing and then be better than something that's $1 billion company. And we're using their service right now. I'm just using this as an example to give you an idea. But what Jarhead has done is we're not trying to be, I don't want to say we're trying to be better than these companies in a sense, but he's put things together, and if you read my email update today about some of the facts, is, hey, he's taking things that are already, crazy successful, multi-billion-dollar companies, and not only are they worth billions of dollars, and it's not just a U.S. thing, around the world, we're dealing with the top 3 Alexa rating companies that there is: Facebook, Google, and YouTube. So we're not trying to be better than any of these companies. We're just realizing, say, hey, these companies, the perception that the world has is, hey, more people all over the world go to these websites than any other. And there's billions of websites, but we're dealing with the number 1, 2, and 3 websites in the world that we're using in these tools. My favorite tool deals with Facebook. Facebook's #1 in the US, #2 in the world. Okay, our webcasting system combines YouTube with Google. Google's #1 in the world, #2 in the US. YouTube's #3 in the US and #3 in the entire world, and they have millions of linked sites to it. And so we're not saying, hey, we're better than YouTube, we're better than Google, we're better than Facebook. We're taking the best that's out there. Again, billion-dollar companies. We're not trying to compete with them. We're just putting tools together that takes advantage of what they're already doing. And hello, it's $20. So I don't know who runs Google and YouTube. I used to know the names, but you know, I know Zuckerberg or whatever there with Facebook. Hey, we're going to take some of this and help other people make some also. I know it was a really long answer to what's the best way to market in your local area. Okay, Michael says, what date will be the first payday? 7 days after the whenever the grace period is over. People again can start making money as soon as they start. We start collecting money, say on the 28th of July, as an example. They can start to get emails saying, hey, money's going in, but not till 7 days after. Well, I take that back because people aren't going to actually go into the matrix where they can see where the commissions are. So in that example, the part that I forgot to tell you, say, in the example, say if it's 28 to August, then to August, 20now.com for, you know, a few hours will be shut down, and they'll take everybody who's paid, combine that into, you know, everybody who pre-enrolled, and take all the ones who pre-enrolled and paid, and then start loading them into the matrix. And you can go and say, okay, boom, you know, put it in, take it back out, make sure it works right, throw a few bugs at it, see how it comes out, and then say, okay, we're good. And then all of a sudden, you know, you start getting all these emails, you know, on 2 August, in this example, saying, hey, you got money, you got a pay raise, you got a pay raise, you got a pay raise, and then you can see that money, but you won't actually be able to start taking it out until 9 August in that example. So it'll pay every day, but 1 week in the rear. So since I don't have a solid date for an exact date for you is when we're going to start accepting money, as far as into the system directly with credit cards and debit cards, I can't tell you when the grace period is going to end. And because I can't tell you the last day of the grace period, I can't add 7 days to that to give you the first time you can say, hey, I got money in my pocket. Okay, Doug. Doug says, what's the difference when we go live this month and when we officially launch in September? All right. Again, going live just simply means the system is able to take credit cards and debit cards and start collecting $20 payments. Okay. When during the month of August, you know, give or take a few days, you know, pre-launch, some of the tools, like when we do the webinar, the webcast, and you know, part of the reason I want to make sure we have thousands of people on the webcast is so that we can say, hey, we know we can have way more seats than the webinar system, you know, with GoToWebinar, because we just did it. Now, until we actually have that many people, you know, we got to be able to, we won't be able to know if the theory or if all the data actually works out the way it looks like it's supposed to work out. So we'll have that month to go in and get information. Say you're looking at your websites and looking at the Facebook tool and the different mailers, and we can tweak things, and maybe somebody says, well, hey, I didn't get this, or I got that, or hey, this part's working real good. And so there'll be a lot of interaction going on between, you know, all the people who are in there during the pre-launch, but they're still getting paid, okay? And then when, say, sometime in September, you know, they're getting paid, then we can say, hey, we are launching. We're done. We got everything. We've tweaked things. We've beta tested it. The mailers are hopping. The Facebook thing is tweaked and perfected. We've had webcasts with thousands of people on it without problem. We got people doing little small webcasts, 20 people here, 100 people there, what have you. And people are starting to say, well, hey, there's some real value in that 20 now thing. I can't believe that's really only 20 bucks. I guess it really is a $20 deal that's a 6-figure and 7-figure business. Okay, my man up there in Canada says, would I explain the new strategy for earning 6-figure income in 6 weeks? Okay, it's not necessarily a new strategy, but it is going to be a course that's going to be put together, and it's nothing, there's no extra money or anything, but you know, a lot of networkers who've done it before, you know, it has a lot to do with the belief level that people will be able to say, hey, I want to take the course. Doesn't matter what their genealogy is, whose downline there is, who their sponsor is. And if you have people who are doing it and you don't want to do it, that's fine too. And it's not a different program. It's just going to be a course that's included in 20 now that people can participate in and go through the steps. And if they follow the steps and they put the time and effort into it, it's not a passive course. It's a proactive course, but the proactive part can result in 6 figures. Being 6 figures, if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, we're not talking about, you know, $1,000 with the decimal point and then the 00 in the cents. We're talking, you know, 100,000 or more. Now, for somebody who their perception or their concept of 6-figure income, for Ernest up in Canada, he might be thinking, well, hey, I've already referred hundreds of people. He has people who've also referred hundreds. So his 6-figure income, he might be thinking, you know, 6 figures a month. Somebody else taking the course, they might be thinking, hey, they've never made 6 figures in a year before. That their success is figuring out how to build up an income going through the 6-figure in 6 weeks course, is that in 6 weeks they're making enough monthly to make 6 figures in a year. So they're, you know, making what is that, 8,800 or 8,000, you know, a little over 8,000 bucks a month. You know, so part of it will be perception to the individuals. That's going to be a 6-week course. It's nothing. I'm kind of giving you a piece of it here, but wouldn't be able to give it any justice in 5 minutes. Okay, Barry, will we be able to see our entire matrix when we launch? You'll be able to see your matrix, not the entire company matrix. You're not going to see from the company's top position all the way down to the bottom. Everybody who's in the matrix is at the top of their own matrix, and you can always see your matrix, okay? And some of the features that you're going to have is not only can you'll be able to see all of your personals and have their data. You're not going to be able to see you. Like if I sponsored you, Barry, I could see you and your username, your email address, maybe at that time, maybe a phone number or something like that. I can see how many people that you've referred. But if you've referred Gwen, Michael, and Dick here, I'd be able to see, hey, Gwen, Michael, and Dick are on the team, but I don't have their contact information because you referred them. And just like you won't be able to see the people that they refer, but you can see the people that are in your matrix. Now, the other thing that it's going to be doing is, although you do not have to have a level full to get paid on that, is you'll have notices coming down saying, hey, your first level's full, your second level's full, your 5th level's full. And as your levels fill, so that when you are out there, and these are more of the proactive tools for the people who are out there saying, hey, my matrix is filling, instead of saying, man, if you come into my matrix, you're going to be down on my 7th level, you know, you can say, hey, my matrix is smoking. If you come in, you'll be on the 7th level, and you'll be between, I'll have 4 and 5 people who are rocking this thing to help you build it instead of just me. both ways are true, because you're not going to fill up a matrix, through 7 levels with Uncle Bob and Aunt Sally and your mailman and stuff of people who aren't making things happen. You might be able to do that with 1 or 2 levels, but you're not going to do that with 5 or 6 levels. So if your matrix is feeling like that, your matrix is moving. So just like this one is going to be moving very fast in the beginning, and because our team has structured it with the top dogs at the top here, we're not going to have very many holes in the matrix. Actually, we won't have any holes at all until maybe down the 7th, 8th levels. Hopefully that helped you out a little bit. Okay, this is from Ron. Okay, the 6-figure course is probably going to be, there's not a date on it, but it will start in September. And there's no additional charge for it. Okay, lots of people want the 6-figure course. Okay, let's see here, Gwen. Okay, Gwen's got some tips here about getting some business cards. Okay, Dick, if someone does the $200 thing and then expands their matrix over a year, how is that paid? Again, just like we talked about here, let me get my highlighter. All right, I'll cover this again. All right, first off, it's only for 200 people. If nobody uses it, that's fine too. Okay, but it's only going to be for 200 people, and your benefit is you save $40. You're not going into the matrix faster. You're not passing up anybody in line. It's not changing your date and time stamp. None of that. Okay, it does save you $40. Now, it is paid right away. They're not taking that and paying those commissions out over 10 months, but they are giving you 10 months commissions. Commissions aren't getting paid for 12 months. They're getting paid all for 10 months up front, but they're getting credit for a whole year. Okay, so they pay $200 instead of $240. So most of you realize in the matrix, it pays 70 cents per person up 10 levels. So since this is for 10 months, it's going to pay $7 up 10 levels. And it's going to pay $7 up to people whether they paid $20 or they won their entry in through a webinar like we're doing here tonight, or it doesn't matter. If they have somebody who paid for a year below them, they're going to get $7. Okay? And the $5 bonus that they get every month, they're not going to get it every month. They're going to get $50 right away. And the $1 that goes in the bonus pool, it's going to be $10 going into the bonus pool. And so for the rest of the year, all of those people, not only they're not going to have any commissions, there's not going to be any of their money going into the bonus pool either. So hopefully that helped you out. But, okay, Miranda, do we earn and get paid on our referral matches the same time that they earn and get paid? Oh yeah, the same thing goes. The $7, it goes out through 10 levels. Whoever sponsors the people who get the $7, that's all matrix income. So their sponsors are going to get the $7 match. Instead of matching 70 cents, they're going to get $7. So the 100% payout still applies. Instead of $20 in, $20 out, it's $200 in and $200 out. Okay. Doug says, if I send 200 to you now and I'm not one of the first 200 people, what will you do with the $200 I send you? Since it's you, Doug, I'll just go out and have a party. No, once I start getting close, I'll take the website down. It's not something that's locked in stone, like Jarhead's going to throw me in jail or something like that. If I get the funds, once I take the website down, it's because it's getting close. But yeah, if I get your money and the website's down, you're number 204, whatever, you're going to be fine. Okay, James, will you be able to see your upline and who your sponsor is? You'll be able to see your sponsor, and you'll also be able to see upline. I think he's going to have it for 4 levels, but you're not going to see their genealogies. So I'll just take an example here. let's say Patrick, he's down in the organization, and Patrick was sponsored by Mark. And that doesn't mean that Patrick's on Mark's first level. Mark might have got some spillover. Patrick could be on his third or fourth level for that matter. But when he goes and says, hey, who's my sponsor? He knows it's Mark. There might be 2 or 3 people in between them, but he doesn't know that. Mark does, but Patrick doesn't. So he says, hey, Mark's my sponsor. And then it'll say, well, hey, Mark sponsors Anne-Marie. And then Anne-Marie sponsors James, and James sponsors Van, and Van sponsors the company. And one of the things that they'll have in the options is notices and webcast, to where maybe Patrick's like, man, I don't understand. I don't know how to do all this webcast stuff, and I would like to learn. And I wish all of my people could be able to watch Anne-Marie's webcast because they like her energy, and Van's webcast, but that guy in Utah, that James guy, I don't want my people listening to his stuff or whatever. I'm just giving James a hard time here for this example. And Patrick can say, okay, well, hey, I want my team to be able to, see Anne-Marie's webcast and Van's webcast, and maybe even some emails. Now, every individual, even though Patrick says he wants his downline, any individual can say, well, hey, I don't want emails from this person or webcast invitations from this person or whatever. And that's one of the reasons you'll be able to see things upline. But you're not going to have the contact information. It's just giving you options to participate in your uplines, training and updates or thoughts of the day or whatever it is that they're doing for their teams. You might have spilled below them, or in that case, these would just be some options and features that Jarhead's put together, and those types of things I haven't seen in any other company. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. Okay, Anne-Marie says, what happens if I sponsor someone who falls on level 11? I love that question. Check this out, Anne-Marie, okay? I'm going to do some chicken scratching here. I'll just do it right here. Okay, here's Anne-Marie. Okay, and Anne-Marie, since I just used her as an example, she sponsors Mark. And she says, well, what happens if Mark ends up on her 11th level? Why is that a good thing? Okay, if Anne's a sponsor and she sponsors somebody, whenever you sponsor somebody, they go into your organization. They're going to go into the organization in the first open position. If your first open position is on your 11th level, that means your 10-level matrix is full, and you're already making $978,000 in the matrix, not counting your matches, not counting your $5 monthly bonuses. And Mark being on your 11th level, yes, he did not make you any money in the matrix in this example, and it's a wonderful example to have, but you still match his 10-level matrix. So now you actually have the potential in this example that you gave to be getting paid through 21 levels. Now, again, if you sponsor somebody and your 11th, 12th, and 13th levels are full, I mean, you're talking some crazy numbers here, because you're talking just in your, I think, 12th level alone can fit like 12 million people. But wanted to answer your question, because if that's a wonderful problem to have. If your personal referrals are going out the bottom of your matrix, that only happens if your matrix is full. Okay. All right. Mark says, is your screen moving? Just see. I'm not sure. It's not trying to be. Oh, I see. Some people are saying my magic pen's not showing up on the screen, even though I can see it. You can't for some reason. All right, I'll see if I can fix that. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. Patrick, can you ask Jarhead if he can add some type of Google Translate to pre-registration site? Sure, I'll ask him. I know when we were working on some video things, we were looking at one of the ladies that works on at Telemundo for Spanish. But I know there's some translate features, and some of them are pretty good, and some of them not so good. But we'll definitely do that. Okay, let's uh, let's pay for somebody's first month here. Okay, hold on a second. All right, we had a cruise winner earlier, Tammy Thompson. And Tammy, I want you to send me a number between 1 and 10. And we got 4 Dianes. With all 4 Dianes, I'll just take whichever one types it first. One of the Dianes, give me up or down. Okay. All right, I got the, it's funny, all the Dianes all chipped in and they all wrote up. No, they're all thinking the same here. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, Craig McLean, you are going to have your first month in 20 Now marketing paid for. What I need you to do, and you could thank the people that picked the Tammy for picking the number and all the Diane saying up that sent me to you. You need to shoot me an email that includes your username, and since I'm not familiar with you, also send me your sponsor's name and username. And again, you're not passing up anybody. You're still going to have the same position in line, but your first month is going to be paid for. And again, like I did with the Patrick, is if you do want to get a yearly option, you can just send, even though it says 200 minimum, you can send in 180 and your other 20s taken care of. And then, so congratulations to you, and whoever your sponsor is, you know you got at least $5 coming. Okay. Doug says, how can we convince people that think this is a scam that it isn't? I don't worry about it. If they want to think it's a scam, their loss. No big. They'll, you know, a lot of people who are saying no now, they'll say yes when they actually see the tools. Okay, yeah, you got tools. Yeah, nobody else has got a big deal. Yeah, they're only 20 bucks, big deal. That probably, you know, it's a bunch of garbage or whatever anyway. Okay, yeah, Van's just, you know, suckering you out of money. You know, he'll tell you anything to get a buck. I don't know, some jarhead guy. Marines aren't very smart. Can't be, he can't be have anything that nobody else has. You know, nobody's that special or anything. You know, I don't worry about it. You know, I've actually had people say, hey, you need to convince me that, you know, that your program is the deal. I go, no, I don't. I don't need to convince you of anything. Okay, so I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, Doug, but we could have 100,000 people on board all screaming, saying, hey, this is awesome, this is awesome, this is awesome, and there'll still be people out there going, yeah, but it's going to die next month. Those internet things never last. It's a scam. You know, Facebook will bury them or whatever. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do now here is actually take you to the 20 Now page and kind of go over some of the homework that we mentioned in the email. Okay. Oh, okay. Jarhead's done some things here. Oh, I didn't even notice this thing here before. Okay, he's got the credit card processing contest for Twitter, Facebook, Google. Okay, I'll let y'all read that because I have him. That's all new stuff he's added here today. But what I do want you to realize is up at the top of the page, you see for Twitter, Facebook, Google, YouTube, there's all links up there. The reason I want you to notice those is I'm going to tell you there's these contests that he's talking about here is going to actually be giving some people a 1-year membership. And again, if you win one of those or one of your people win one, that's still a good thing because those commissions are going to be paid. Okay, and they're also down here at the bottom. All right, now the contest, I don't know if he has all the details on here yet, but like I said, he just started that, is what you want to do is if you don't have a Twitter account, get one. But you go to Twitter, and all you do is you click on right here. Now, it already says I'm following. I already did it. So they have 116 followers, and he's following 100, and 5 tweets have gone out already. All right. So there's a reason for that one. I don't know all the details for it yet, but there's that one. Okay. And if you go to Facebook, again, if you don't have a Facebook page, get one. And I've already picked, all you got to do is click on liked. All right. There's a reason, because if we're all aligned with something that everybody's liking, and right now we got 226 people just since last night have gone to Facebook and liked the 20 Now thing. All right. Now, the other thing you want to do is go to the Facebook group. So it's facebook.com/groups 20 Now. All right, you can see just since last night, we've got 380 people who joined the group. You can see Jarhead on here, and here you got Louise, one of the leaders, and people can go in here, and it's interactive 24/7. Now, initially, it's just a bunch of people saying, "Hey, this is great, thanks, Jarhead," and you can see all these different posts, and some people are putting up some positive thoughts here. But there are a lot of them are asking, each other questions, giving each other tips, finding out what's going on in their countries. And you can see this is all stuff that just happened within the last hour here. So there's a lot of information. Just don't get lost in there to where you start forgetting to, promote the program. Okay, and so that's the Facebook portion. Let me get rid of my chicken scratch here for a second. Okay, and here's the big one. All right, the YouTube channel. All right, the reason you want, even if you don't have any videos, still get yourself a YouTube channel. And you can see right here, you click on subscribe, and the reason that we want to do this is it doesn't matter how much money you have. Jarhead could, he can't go to YouTube. Again, YouTube's a billion-dollar company. It's the #3 website in the entire world. Out of the billions of websites, YouTube is #3. #3 in the US, #3 in the world. It's only behind Google and Facebook. So they don't care if you got a bunch of money to get your videos to high def. That so when we start doing presentations and everything, it takes 1,000 subscribers. You can't send YouTube money. It has nothing to do with how much money you send them. It's getting 1,000 subscribers. So we got 23,000 people pre-enrolled. We best have 1,000 subscribers here pretty quick, okay? And when that happens, that makes our tools that much better because we're aligned, or in a sense partnering with YouTube and Google, because the tool that he's put together is combined Google Hangout, Gmail, which is also Google, and YouTube all into one thing, so that we can offer something even better than Citrix, which is also a billion-dollar company that has nowhere near the notoriety of Facebook, Google, and YouTube. Hello, getting a hint here? Okay, and the main reason I've been encouraging everybody to get Gmail, it's not a slam on the other services, but again, Gmail ties you into YouTube automatically because Gmail is under Google. Google Hangout, which is part of the thing, also ties into YouTube. We have a Facebook thing that's #1 in the world, so you have 1, 2, and 3 website traffics. Now you're going up. I know I'm like John Madden here for the sports people. I'm drawing stuff all over the place, and it doesn't look like it's still not showing up here. Dang it. I'm not sure why that's not working here. Because I'm seeing the view page, and I'm not seeing my chicken scratch showing up. So I guess I'll just stop doing that. But it pushes everything up on the search engine. Now, the other reason is, and I've been telling AOL users this for years. You can call this a little bit of training tidbits. And for some of you who've been with me a while, you've heard me say this many times. AOL blocks some outside email that's not AOL. I'm not talking about stuff going into your spam folder. I'm talking about stuff that you just don't get. Now, every time, because AOL users are so passionate about AOL often, that they, I don't know how many times they said, well, I'm getting all of my email. You don't know that because AOL doesn't send you a list saying, hey, here's all the email we kept from you. And when they call you, they deny this. Or excuse me, when you call them and say, hey, do you guys block outside email? Of course they're going to say no. All right. But I've proved this a number of times, and have had other people do it. They'll get 2 email accounts, and they'll write themselves from their non-AOL address to their AOL address. Sometimes they get it, and sometimes they don't. So that works both ways. Is you might be on AOL and you send me a question, and I answer it, and you don't get it. And so I think I answered your question. You're thinking, man, Van's ignoring me. All right. And then I don't hear from you a while. And then all of a sudden, and then these certificates, for example, that I've given away, these vacation certificates, we found out that anybody who's got it from Yahoo, they're not getting them. So they had to go get another email account just so they can get their certificates, because that wasn't showing up in the spam folder. So, but Gmail gets everything, especially when it's dealing with their own stuff. All right, so even if you've been with AOL or Yahoo, Hotmail, Comcast, whatever, forever, I'm not saying dump all those things. Gmail's free, and it works with the system. And our tools, again, these AOL was, when internet was first getting hot, it was AOL or nothing. People say, hey, what's your address? And they just say, Big Bob 27. They just figured everybody knew it meant at AOL.com. They didn't, it's like they didn't know there was what was like IBM or Earthlink or whatever. Okay, so get yourself a Gmail account, get yourself YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and somebody's thinking, man, this is just $20. This is too much work to do all this stuff. Okay. Everything you do, like I said in the presentation, the more you use these tools, the more money you're going to make, okay? Because as your stuff goes up, it's going to go up in search engines and stuff, okay? I don't understand all the technical crud. I'm just telling you it works, all right? And so, and when it comes to building, you don't want to lose information. Just like if a prospect writes you and says, hey, Mr. So-and-so at AOL.com, I got a question about this, or hey, can you talk to this person for me? I'm going to bring in all these people, but you never got the email. So they go, well, screw this person. I'm not going to join with them. He won't even answer my questions. Well, you're not answering because you never got them. So they end up writing somebody else who happens to be, oh, hey, they're on Gmail, and their email got through. Oh, go figure. All right. Okay. Diane says she has a friend who has a lot of vacations. Can they have the cash value? Not for me. John, in my opinion, this is one of the best I've ever seen. I like your opinion, John. I agree with you. I'm going to pick on you here a little bit too, John, if you don't mind. This is John, and he's on the leaders board. I'm going to show you the leaders board here real quick. I've worked with John in a number of programs. And the John that just said this is the best he's ever seen, okay, he told me I can pick away. He's right here, okay? All right. Oh, that's right. You can't see. Let me see if the highlighter works, if that's working. No, that's not working either. Okay. Well, I know you can see the leaders board, so I know it's really small print. He's number 8 on the leaders board. Okay, he's got 395 referrals. I've done some other programs with John in the past, and sometimes he's done okay, sometimes not so okay. And there's some other people on this webinar, like Frank, for example. Okay, people are saying the blue line's showing up. That's because I've highlighted it on the website. Frank's another person who's done some programs with me, and he's never made a referral. I even asked, I go, why are you joining? All right, he trusts me. He likes what I'm doing, and yeah, this is only 20 bucks. But Frank, somebody who's never got any referrals, has 13 referrals. John, who's had some referrals with me in the past, but it's never been 395. It's never even been 95. It's never even been 50. It's been more like 3 to 5. All right, so there's a lot by him saying that this. Not only do I know he thinks it's the best, is his attitude about it is attracting others because he believes it's the best. He's referring like I've never seen him do before. I'm seeing this from a lot of people. Okay, yes, there's 7 other people who've got more referrals than John, but John's doing better than thousands of people that he never exceeded previously. And that's happening with a whole bunch of people. Like I said, we've got 600 people already creating spillover. And we're just getting started. I mean, we're not even started yet. We're like all in the starting gates. We're all stretching and warming up still. You know, it's like the Boston Marathon. There's a big mass of people are waiting for the starting gun to go off. We're all back there, you know, stretching and drinking waters and bananas and whatever, getting ready to take off. Okay. Okay, I guess let me try this again. Can people see the red dot on the screen right now moving around? Okay, I guess that's showing up now. Now, what about the green pen? People seeing me draw big green circles on here? Okay, I'm getting no's and yeses. All right, the highlighter seems to work for everybody, and the big green circle doesn't seem to work for very many people. Okay, I'll look into that after the webcast. Okay. All right. Okay, well, hey, okay, no more answering the yeses and nos, please, here, okay. All right, Doug says, how does a person win the contest for a year's membership? Okay, the contest is what I had a whole bunch of people say, hey, I did Van's homework and stuff, so, and that was put in the email too, and I actually, most of that came from Robert, but the, if you go in and you're one of the people who clicked you like the 20 Now Facebook page, one of those people who like the page can win a year. If you go subscribe to the 20 Now YouTube channel and you're one of the 1,000 plus, you know, we have to get to 1,000, and then if it goes to 3,000, 4,000 or whatever, there'll be a drawing for, if you're one of those people who are doing one of the 1,000, you can win a year. If you go to the Twitter page and you're one of the people who follow the 20 Now on Twitter, even if they're the only ones you follow, you have a chance to win a year. Okay, and no, yes, you can enter all of the contests, and no, you can't win them all. You can't like win 4 years worth. If you win more than one, they'll just give it to somebody else. Okay, and there might be some more information. Like I said, I hadn't talked with Jarhead today, and so I haven't even read all this stuff that's on 20now.com. So you can take a look at that, and he's got the he has a Pinterest contest, YouTube, Google, Facebook. There's 2 Facebook. One is for liking the Facebook page, and the other one is just for joining the Facebook group. Again, everything on here does not cost anything, but it actually, in the more things that look good for 20 Now, the more value it creates in everybody who's using the tools. Hopefully people are starting to catch on to that a little bit. Okay. All right, well, hey, I want to thank everybody for being on the webinar. Oh, holy cow, I had no idea. We went way over here. We're still maxed out, and I'm 20 minutes overtime. I want to thank you all for being on tonight's webinar. I did understand that I guess we had some glitches here, and it was a little bit more than people not being able to get on the earlier one I did at 9 o'clock. But this is being recorded, and I was going to say be posted up later today, but it's going to be posted up later this morning since it's after midnight here on the East Coast. Thank you all, and go knock this out. Get your homework done. Start getting your believers fixed, okay? Yes, this is a $20 deal, but this $20 deal can make some serious income for you in these tools and in anything that you might be promoting on the side. And again, the Pay Now page is just an option. It's not a requirement. If you want to wait till the company starts, that's fine. If you want to take advantage of the $40 savings, that's fine also. Just go to paynow.toolsteam.net and get your funds submitted, and we'll get this thing rocking. Good night, everybody.
Exclusive marketing tools for promoting any online products or services. Only $20 per month. Click on the link below and secure your position today.